library haul and reading recommendations as per usual. Now I did not. I know it's stupid, but I did not check to make sure they're all there, even though they're all rubber banded together. And there is one that I'm glad that they knew me. They know me. Because there's one book that I thought would be in. It said, oh, it's ready for pickup, but they gave it to you. This means that we have it on hold, but not checked out. I should kind of realize that. It's right here. That good? Yeah, it's a fan. So let's get it on with it. Wonder Woman volumes 3 and 4. I wanted to get, I almost got all 4 at once, but this is Greg Rucka's run, or a follow-up run, if you will, on Wonder Woman. Deadpool volumes 1 and 2. This is a reread, and so was Wonder Woman 2. Actually, they're both rereads. I think all these are actually not, obviously not every one, but next like few. You'll see. This is a reread. I don't remember a whole lot, but I also remember a lot from this run. But this is Dead Presidents, and this one is Soul Hunter. Reading that one next, so I'll put that right in my bit. Put that one over there. I like to get 2 of them. So I have the 3rd volume. Again, like I mentioned before, when I was first reading this series, I had just gotten volume 3 just to get it. And I had heard it was a really good, the best of the run. So I wanted the best of the best back then when I was first getting the comics and didn't really know what volumes were, apparently. So I never got the first 2 volumes. But the library had it. They actually have the first 3. If I get the first 2, so I have 3 volumes at once to read. So it'll be a lot of Deadpool. The Wake, another reread. Outcast. Now this is a reread, but I never get to finish the series. They have, I hope they will at least, have volume 8. Making a huge gamble on that, they better have it. Rachel Rising. I hope this is the first volume. Yep, volume 1. I vaguely remember hearing about this series. I just can't remember from who or what they said about it. It's Terry Moore, so I'm sure it'll be good. And then the one that, it's the interlibrary loan. The rest will be. The one that I waited till 3 o'clock for. And I was glad they, said, oh, here's the book. That's letter 44. Now, is this... Oh, is it an original graphic novel? It better not be. I'm not reading all this in one sitting. It's Oni Press, so sometimes they're like, nope, we're not gonna do issues. Fuck you. It's like, doing issues. I think it is. I don't know if I'm thinking wrong, but one of them I feel... Not seeing it, but it looks like it would be. Oh, it better not be. Nope, it's not. Nice. I just saw the chapter break. I know it's really weird. Even if they have it by chapter break too, it'll be fine. I just don't like when they do that. I know it's a really weird thing, but it's one of those things that's a weird quirk of mine. Now on to the big ones. Not the big ones, but the bags. These 2, I had to call them to keep them on hold because they decided to come in afterwards, which I was kind of angry with. First up is 1 Month to Live. This is what look kind of interesting. It's a weird. I don't know if that's them or the actual book looks like that. It's one of those things where I'm like, is it that or is it that? And this is by Rick Remender, and he's for Marvel. I have never read something by Rick Remender. Actually, I don't think I've read anything I haven't liked from Rick Remender. They haven't reread like more than the second time. I felt like an idiot, as you'll see with Low. With Low, I read like the first 5 times or 4 times, didn't like it. 5th time I was like, what the hell was I thinking? It was awesome. That's why I got Low, the 2 hardcovers, and a bunch of Rick Remenders for my birthday, because I really got obsessed with his writing, thanks to Low. And Tokyo Ghost was another reread. Although the second time rereading it, I was like, yeah. But it was the first issue I didn't like from like back then. When I first read it. Okay, getting on to this is volume 3 of Sin City. And what's this one called? What do they call this one? Oh, they're not going to tell me right away. The Big Fat Kill, right? Yep. This one takes forever for them to come in. In fact, I'm going to put that in right now, even though I'm not going until next week, the following week. Because for whatever reason, they're like, yeah, do you want it? No, it's not that. No, what it is that it's the box set. So they have to make doubly sure, I guess, that you're getting the right volume. That's sending out the right volume. Just in case. I think that's what it is. I don't I don't know 100%. And we might... Oh, nope, never mind. Spoke too soon. I was going to say, oh, we don't have any of those little slips of paper that says, oh, this book's damaged a bit. But I saw 2 of them. Peter Parker, Spider-Man, Civil War. It'd be really nice if I had gotten this along with the Amazing Spider-Man Civil War, but I had to wait because it was out of stock. Well, not out of stock, it was checked out. I always find that funny when a book from, like, 1,000 years ago, a comic from 1,000 years ago, has no relevancy today, technically, is checked out. It's like, what, someone doing the same thing I am and rereading the Civil War event and actually wants to read most of the tie-ins, at least the ones he's interested in? Or they, because it could be he or she. I'm inconclusive, too. I said that wrong on purpose. Black Widow, Volume 2, The Tightly Tangled Web. What's the first one called? Finally Woven Red. Woven Thread, or something like that. I always get that one confused with the Kelly Thompson Volume 1. It's a ties that bind for Kelly Thompson. I think it was the Finally Woven Thread for Edmondson's run. I don't know why. Just thinking about it, in retrospect. Wonder Twins Volume 2. Now, this does not always mean that I liked Volume 1. Sometimes it does, but this one is somewhat of an exception. You'll see when I go over the reading recommendations. Ms. Marvel Volume 3, Outlawed. Does it give you Outlawed number 1? It does not. That was the most recent series. Other than the mini-series. I went whoa, because I thought it ran out of storage, but just out of battery. And I should use the other charger. For whatever reason, the Verizon charger, which is ironic because it's Verizon, just does not like it when I... oh, it's not plugged. Dang. Who unplugged it? Probably my dog. Let's hope and pray it charges. Alright. Try not to rush. So I was saying, oh yeah, besides her mini-series, that's her last, like, full ongoing. Now, why is this one? I got this one before. Why is it marking on back of book? Is it marking? Oh no. Took it out for now. Not supposed to, but I put it back in. I'm getting it back, obviously. Trillium. Reread. I didn't like it the first time, and that's kind of weird because Jeff Lemire is like a knockout writer, and this is one of the books that people liked from him. So maybe it's just me. Spider-Gwen, Volume 0, Most Wanted. I never, like, never... Oh, they do collect Edge of Spider-Verse anyways. Good. It's her first appearance. I read this for a first issue a long time ago. Didn't really like it, but this past time, again, there was this whole thing. I got just Jason Aaron, Jason Tour so I want to get I know I'm good like that, but anyways, so I was like, yeah, I'll give Spider-Gwen a chance. It's always been that series I want to give a chance, but I don't know if they had the full series. It doesn't matter because she was only good for a few volumes, apparently, because after that, on Goodreads, got terrible ratings. The book I forgot I had digitally, but Doctor Strange, Volume 1, The Way of the Weirds, the Aaron's run. I am not getting the omnibus, obviously. See, my library has all the volumes in a series for the omnibus. They have all the paperbacks or hardcovers or whatever. I'm not too picky. I'm like, okay, I'll get it there. If they have it, it's all of it, I'll get it. Sometimes I won't. Warn for this one, which is kind of ironic. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, Volume 3, hopefully. The smartest there is. It's a great way to sell your character. The bestest ever. I do actually, spoilers, I do really like that series. Obviously, they had 1 3. But why does this look like it's less than I thought it would be? I always feel that. I just don't know why. Get you open. Never mind. Alright. And there. That was a lot of packaging for... Actually, no, it was just me. I think I opened it. No, I get well. Judge Dredd. Complete Case Files, Volume 1. It's in black and white, and I hope it was originally in black and white, but it's newsprint paper. That's just great. Surprised there's no slip of paper on that one saying, oh, it's worn. Because it's newsprint paper, and newsprint paper does not age well. Mind MGMT. This is the Matt Kint series. It looks like it's a huge ass volume 1. Like it's almost the omnibus version. How much larger are the omnibus versions? This isn't one. How many issues are collected in here? If they even tell you. It's right here. Only 6 issues or 7 issues, and it's that thick. It was like 50 pages each issue. So I'm going to read that when I have time to kill. Ghosted, Volume 1, Joshua Williamson. It's another horror series, and I had gotten Nailbiter. I'd finished off that series collecting it, and Ghosted was his other horror book, and I was like, okay. Didn't get the best reviews on Goodreads, so I'm not expecting a knockout like a Nailbiter apparently is. But time will tell. Green Arrow, Volume 4 of the Rebirth series, The Rise of Star City. 18 to 25, so it's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 8 issues. Just seems a lot thicker. And finally, because it was active, I just got it off of, it was Dover. Why wasn't it available? Dover is on Gmilks. I had to get on the other service. There's Gmilks and ILL. I had to do ILL. I get it. And that is Wicked and Divine, Volume 7, Mothering Invention. Now, it's a good thing I had reread this series, because I feel like it would have been a lot worse than I was. Even then, I forgot a lot of what happened in the series. I don't know. It was kind of annoying to have to wait for that one. And now it's on to reading recommendations. What time is it? 4:32. Wow, we're doing pretty good. Alright. We have an email? Actually, I should have at least one. I'm pretty sure all the books came in. It's one of those things where, like, I think it did. Oh yeah, I wanted to count it. Shouldn't be doing this, wasting more time, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe it's just me that I feel like that MGMT is a bit longer for only collecting 7 issues because of how Marvel does it. Like this is, 6 issues, I think. Or 5. 13 to 18. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, 6. Same amount. Oh, sorry, 1 issue. Alright, sorry. What's that? I shouldn't have spoke. 1, 2. I knew what number I was on, but I just can't remember. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Awesome. I wanted a fat stack because I didn't get a super fat stack last time. 22 including Paper Girls. That was a pretty thick book. I couldn't finish all that on 2 weeks. There we are. Super Dinosaur Volume 1. Yeah, there's a reason to get Volume 2. That was a pretty bad book. It was the equivalent of a great example of when people just say, oh, you don't like this character because she's a girl. Yeah, well, Super Dinosaur was doing the I'm the best before people like Ironheart or whatever. Moon Girl I won't say, because Moon Girl I actually do like the character. She doesn't really say that much, but Ironheart I heard was like a completely insufferable character. And Super Dinosaur, the main kid, I don't even remember his name, I'll call him Bratface, was a super annoying character, and everything else I liked, but not enough to keep. And he's not as obnoxious as he was as the series goes on. The 5 issues I read, it was 5. He gets a lot better, and the series is a little bit more interesting. It does end on a huge cliffhanger that I kind of want to see where it goes from there, but not enough to get Volume 2. I'll just look up on the wiki. I don't even care, honestly. It was one of those things where like, oh, okay. If I was actually liking the series, that would have been a huge-ass cliffhanger, but as is, it's just the cliffhanger. Plutona, a very welcome surprise and a pretty underrated book. In the sense, well, actually no one talks about it either, but in the sense that it got very low reviews. It kind of does end, sort of a spoiler, but it's a mini-series and it ends on a cliffhanger. Why would you do that? And it's a pretty big one, too. Not like a cliffhanger, but it was kind of like a... You're not going to explain what that happened. You're not going to... This just happened. You're not going to... Okay. Alright. Series is over. Okay. Glad you ended it there. And also, it was very much like... very much Stand By Me. Where they find a dead body and... but this time it's a superhero. That's the plot synopsis, and it's not a huge spoiler. Son of Shaolin, a pretty damn good book, and it flowed really, really fast. It was a very fast-paced book for having to read it all in one sitting. It was 115 pages according to online services. So it's I'm not sure going to say how long I'm going to say it is. I do recommend it. It was very interesting. A very, like, again, very cookie cutter, but it was an interesting story nonetheless. And whenever I hear about, oh, this has been done before, I don't usually, I mean, sometimes I will not watch it, or read it, but sometimes, like, okay, I'll give it a chance. It's the only complaint you have. And usually I end up liking it because it's the characters and the story. It's just interesting. And I haven't read a whole bunch of Kung Fu books other than Iron Fist, so nothing to compare it to. And Kung Fu Panda, I watched Kung Fu Panda, that was about it, though. The Old Guard, Volume 2. They didn't have Volume 3. I thought they did, and they technically do. It's a weird, it's like periodical, and you have to, like, I think they got it, like it's off, like, a PDF, and it's very weird, though. I don't know why they say periodical is like a magazine, like how a comic book is. I don't know, which is weird. Maybe it's just they have their first issue of it, I don't know. But I really liked Volume 2, and that's why. I was like, man. But Volume 3 is just a spin-off series. We haven't got, will technically be Volume 4 in the final volume in the series. Hasn't even come out with its first issue yet. I don't think, at least. I looked it up, they didn't say anything about it. First thing was Reddit saying, where is it? And also, I don't think I reviewed the movie when I reviewed Volume 1. I like the movie. I like the series. It's good enough. The movie does... I remember they explained a lot better. I don't remember how they did. It was kind of forgettable in that sense, I guess you could say. What they had done with the character that ends up being... well, what happened to that character, without giving too much away. I remember they explained it a lot better in the book than they did in the movie. But the movie was just good. I watched it. I think I did mention this, actually. I just watched it at a good time, perfect time. It wasn't like trying to heavily criticize a movie that I already heard was pretty heavily criticized. And it's one of those movies that, yeah, you kind of, I wish they had taken place, like, it was like her over the years, you really got a sense of the characters, but other than that, I liked it. There's a few cringy elements, too, but other than that, it was pretty good. Sleepless. That was that series. It was pretty good. I mean, I'm not going to read it ever again, but it was good for once over. It was good enough. It wasn't terrible, but it's one of those books that I feel like a lot of people would heavily criticize it for. But for me, it was enjoyable enough. The characters weren't totally insufferable. It was just, I wasn't boring, I guess. That's when I will hate a book. At first, some issues were bad, worse than others. Like, I think it was like the first volume. The first issue I liked. Second, third, and fourth were like, what the hell is going on here? Why is this so bad right now? It's like so much worse, and I was like dreading reading it every time. I always made the first book or second book that I read so I just got it out of the way for the day. But then after that, it gets better. Black Widow, it's just as good as I remember it. It's a pretty underrated run, and it's one of my first Black Widow books I've read. So I think you can start there and you'll be all set. I was pretty all set. There was a few characters that seemed to come out of nowhere, and I don't know if they were introduced before or they were new characters for that run. Sometimes I just chalk it off as that. Oh, they're just new characters that she thinks they have a legacy together, so you get that they're just not a character she just met. She knows this person for a long time, but we as the readers don't. They do that all the time with the blog books. When some series started out, obviously, like Paper Girl starts out, they're friends. Saga starts out, they're, obviously. I like I gave two examples, so two books that, both rank K1, ironically. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, just as good as the first volume. I just hate that the name they gave to the second volume. The Super Cuties, or whatever it was called. It was stupid. And actually, it's good, lighthearted fun. It's for kids, but you don't, it's not, more kiddie than Ms. Marvel. It does feel a bit more kiddie than Ms. Marvel, but it's about that same age range, and I like it. It's not too cringy at times. There's a couple parts where I was a little cringy, but I can't remember them at the top of my head, other than, again, the title of the second volume. But other than that, it's just good, lighthearted fun. It's not saying screw you because you were skeptical of reading our book. You're the bad guy. We're not the bad guy for telling you the bad guy. That thing. It's not one of those books. It's just a book that wants to just tell a good story. Despite what the creators may have said. I don't know what they've said. I don't like pay attention to that. I do and I don't. I haven't actually even better. I do pay attention to that, but I don't like not every single thing. It's just what your boy Zach talks about and them. Even though I don't watch every single one of their videos. It's possible he said something. Ms. Marvel, Volume 2, a bit better than Volume 1. Volume 1 was really weird. And one thing I forgot to mention, Volume 1, it does the stupidest cop-out of like all time. It's a Ms. Marvel book, so I'm gonna spoil it. Her mom had known, so the hands up, that means spoilers. Her mom knows that she's Ms. Marvel. Then her dad knows it. Her mom knew in this like way back when. Then her dad knows in the first volume. And that's really intriguing, and it's one of those things. And then at the end of the volume, they retcon it. Her mother doesn't know anymore, and her dad doesn't know anymore. And that is just stupid. Why would you do that? You just nixed out all of the tension that comes with that. Like, our daughter is a superhero, she'll get killed. You know, they're like, no. Great. Good to know that was put in for no reason whatsoever. Like, literally, no reason whatsoever. Her mother, that was a reason. She knew for a very long time. Her dad didn't know. Whatevs. It's just stupid. Like, why would you do that? It's like Spider-Man. Oh, wait, he did that. Never mind. What is it with Marvel and retconning characters? Things. Alright, hands down, so now moving on. Captain America and the Falcon, the Secret Empire one from the 1970s. It's dated. Very dated. And I'm not about to go seek out other books in that era. Spider-Man and X-Men are pretty much like unbeatable, and no matter what era you read them in. Captain America, and especially Doctor Strange, I feel like I'll only like their modern interpretations. Like, I should start my Captain America reading order with Ed Brubaker's run. I should start my Doctor Strange run with someone's run. I think saying Jason Aaron, that's a bit too far. I could probably go a little bit backwards, you know what I mean? Like, that saying, oh, why, you know, it's like saying, oh, I can start Thor with just Jason Aaron's run too. I mean, that's way too far into the future. You can go back a little bit and still find the same enjoyment. And not have it be dated. And it was a very interesting, it was a very interesting story and very relevant story. But it's still dated. But it's not the way they interpreted the story, it's just the dialogue. The way they did the story was pretty grounded in reality for a 1974 book. Comic book. Specifically. Superman Godfall was very interesting. And I was pretty surprised to find out that series was out of print. Like, when the issues that come out, they've been out of print immediately. And it does make sense. It's kind of like, but it kind of doesn't. It gave us a different interpretation of Superman, so it was kind of an Elseworlds. I think it was technically in continuity, so maybe it was the first time they did that. I don't know. The one thing I didn't like was they only collected the Godfall story. There's a backup story they don't collect, so you missed part of the issue. Why not just put it in there? But it was $10. So but even if I had bought it $10, I would have been like, I would pay more. I was surprised that it was $10 when I was going over the books last time. So, you know, it was $10, I guess, to get what you paid for, but it was an older book, so I feel like they just added those, I think it was like 6 pages. One of the issues, it was just, like, drawings and, like, backup art that didn't really need to, it wasn't story, it was just, like, artists. You can get art pages, you know, you'll see in the back of your Marvel books and DC books, especially omnibuses. But, for the most part, it was an art story. Batman Gothic. Very, very good. That is Grant Morrison. If you don't like Grant Morrison's current Batman run, like the whole timey-wimey stuff, like especially the what's it called? Because he had 2 of them, Batman Incorporated. If you don't like that run, you'll probably like Batman Gothic. Batman Gothic is a lot less crazy stuff happening and more just like a grounded Batman story with some crazy stuff, but not like super crazy. Where it was like, is this even a Batman book anymore? Wonder Woman, I really like that series. It got me into Wonder Woman, I think. Yeah, actually it is. I remember now. That was way back when. Because the longest time, I wasn't like super big into Wonder Woman and Green Arrow, but then I read some good issues, and I was like, oh, so my stupid, I guess I just researched the characters. I don't know. Green Arrow was pretty good. I don't remember. Did they do stuff? Wait, Green Arrow. Yes, Green Arrow. So I already reviewed it, didn't I? Because I was saying how Volume 3 was a lot like Volume 1. Volume 2. I remember saying, oh, Volume 3 just got back into the stupid stuff. I know I'm in Volume 4. I know I didn't read that before. Huh, weird. So me already reviewed it. They got back into like a lot of the political stuff, but it wasn't too bad. Yeah, I thought maybe I reviewed it and didn't. I don't know, because I'm only on Volume 4, and I read Volume 1 way back when, got off it for a long time, then picked up Volume 2 like months later, and then Volume 3 it was it was going on from that. So weird. Huh. Wonder Twins. Now, there's only 2 volumes in this series, at least I hope there is. And I was like with Sleepless, I was like, you know what, let's get it over and done with. That way I'm not going back to it. I'm like, oh, maybe it's the 3rd time I'll like it a lot better. But no, let's at least finish the series. That's the only reason why I picked up Volume 2, because it's a very MCU book. You know how MCU was kind of like almost like a parody of Marvel? Well, this was more like, this is more of a parody than, it's more obvious that this is a parody of like DC heroes, because Wonder Twins can't be taken seriously. I was going off on a little like thing written down here on a tangent, but it doesn't make any sense. It made sense to me back then, but not anymore. It was just very cringy for the first issue. After that, I got like with Sleepless, I got a little bit better, but never achieved like that. Oh my god, Wonder Twins is next. Yeah, it was like with Sleepless. It was one of the first books I read, just to get it out of the way. Finally, Heroes in Crisis. Yeah, I don't know why we read this series. It's pretty much as bad as they're saying it is. I'm not really attached to Wally West Flash, so I wasn't like, oh my god, it's a character assassination. But I completely understand if you felt that way. But for me, it was just yeah, that's it. Bye. It was just okay.